flanks it. Poli with a rebound to O'Brien. Here come the Aztecs coming up on 7 minutes to go, trying to get the lead up to a dozen. Ball is loose, and a San Diego State turnover.
That last possession, you saw Bakersfield try to get Maynard running off a screen. But once again, San Diego State, discipline on defense to trail the screen. Not going to let him get an easy look.
They're hanging around to the Roadrunners. Down only 10, 6:38 and counting. Again, they'll let the shot clock go under 10. This is White. Trying to go around the pick by Hall. Nothing there. 3 to go. Maynard launches. He's having a terrible night shooting, but an offensive rebound. Another look, and Hall buries the jumper.
He's having a terrible night shooting, but I think you've got to credit the defense. I mean, they're very well prepared for this guy. Like I said, San Diego State knew coming into this game that the three-point shot was going to be the rate equalizer for them. Bakersfield could stay in the game if they made three-point shots, and they're not letting them get any easy looks.
Foul underneath the basket by Corey Hall. 6:07 to go. And that is the 7th foul. So now San Diego State's going to be shooting 1-and-1 here.
If they ever figure that out.
Yeah. Our official right in front of us is holding 1-and-1 out, trying to let the other officials know.
Here we go.
Our officiating crew, Bill Gracie, Rick Batzel, and Casey Eli. And so O'Brien's going to go to the free throw line here for a 1-and-1. Shepard and Poli will sit.
You know, you look at this Aztec team, and such an athletic group. They basically can play any position. I would put any one of those guys, 1 through 5, it doesn't matter.
Nearly turned over. It was tipped, though, and Barnes has it back. He'll give it to White. Tyrone White handling the point. 6'7" senior out of Portland. O'Brien drawing the defensive assignment here. Again, they're going to let it go under 10. Got to be very patient with these guys.
Yeah, you know, I just counted 3 different sets that they tried right there, and you got to credit San Diego State for keeping them out of it.
Carter with 1 to go. Did he get it off in time? Doesn't matter. It hit the front of the rim. Thames leaves it for a trailing O'Brien, and he got fouled by White as he blew in for the lay-in.
You saw that break right there. Their 2 best players didn't touch the ball. The 2 bigs were the furthest out on the court. Great play. When you get your bigs rebounding and running the floor that well, please give them the ball.
J.J. O'Brien to the free throw line now to shoot 2. Aztecs have been there already 9 times here in the first half.
We talked about J.J. O'Brien before the game. He reminds me of a guy named Matt Barnes, guy played with at UCLA, now playing with the Los Angeles Clippers. Very smooth, very big, strong guy, can play any position, more really 1 through 5. And that's going to help them down the stretch in this Mountain West, which is a very, very strong conference, as you'll see later this season.
And J.J. played extremely well during that week in Hawaii. 11 of 19 shooting, not really known much for his offense in his first few games here on the Mesa.
I don't think I'd play well in Hawaii.
I'm right there with you.
I might pull a hammy or something and just have to call it a weekend.
Under 5 to go, first half. Paul put it on the floor. Leaves it for Barnes. Carter steps in with 1 to go and got fouled from beyond the arc. Chase Tapley called for the infraction.
You want to yell at him for fouling the three-point shooter. Not only that, Carter's not known to be a three-point shooter. But when you're that aggressive, the shot clock's running down, you can't get too upset with it. It's just a good individual play by Carter. Now he's got to make the shot.
Well, that's one thing Brian Dutcher told us before the ball game is here's a guy that will get to the free throw line more than anybody else, twice as much as anybody else on the team. Normally because he likes to attack the basket.
Not pull up from 30. And you know, he said he's very much like a Solomon Hill, where he knows how to attack, he gets his body into guys, and that's not something you can teach. It's something you really learn from playing a lot of basketball and also from being an undersized guy. He's not a big guy, but he knows how to use his body.
Carter makes the last one. It's an 8-point game. That was something that disturbed Steve Fisher just a bit, too, in that Hawaii tournament. was all the penetration in the lane, the blow-bys. Now, Arizona didn't often score in them, but had a lot of good looks because of it.
Well, it's a combination. Are you playing too aggressive on defense, or you're not being disciplined enough? I mean, you look at the teams like Butler, a lot of success, beat Indiana because they protected that lane. Not only did they protect the lane, they protected the entire paint. So you've got to be a little more disciplined on defense while being aggressive.
Thames with a missed three, but Stevens cleans it up. The offensive rebound and the bucket. And a foul on the other end as the Aztecs go back up 10 points.
No, I think that's something. I mean, you look at what Arizona was able to do. You've got to be more disciplined. You got to protect the ball. You got to protect the paint. This is one of the things we talked about earlier, too, our keys. I love to touch back on the keys because I made them up, and it makes me sound like I really know what I'm doing. But offensive rebound, it's demoralizing. When you get easy buckets off of an offensive rebound, it's demoralizing to a defense that just had to work hard for 25, 30 seconds. Yep. It is a tough thing to recover from, especially when you're looking at a team that's not very deep in Bakersfield.
Yeah, and how many times has it happened to the Aztecs in the early going of this one?
Yeah.
At least a couple of times here. Got a clock issue right now. And they're going to put 7 more seconds back on the clock. It rolled down to 4:04. On your screen, it says 4:04, but here inside the arena, it's now back to 4:11. And Bakersfield gets to reset with a fresh 35-second shot clock. There's a quick shot by Carter with a miss. Well, he is really struggling from the outside. Carter is now 1 for 6 from the floor. Breaking the action, under 4 minutes to go before the half. The Aztecs with a 10-point advantage over the 6-10 Bakersfield Roadrunners.
Getting a room at Morongo can make a quick getaway into an all-night good time. With gorgeous views, 42-inch TVs, luxurious bathrooms, and outrageously comfortable beds. Staying the night at Morongo is always a good time. Although, you might want to book a separate room for your friends. Morongo. Good times.
It's great.
Hoping for something better? Then come celebrate the Hyundai Holiday Sales Event with great vehicles like the powerful Genesis or the luxurious Equus. Each with Hyundai Assurance, including America's Best Warranty.
This is great.
And during the Hyundai Holiday Sales Event, get a new Genesis for as little as $399 a month with up to $1,500 bonus cash. Hurry, offers end January 2nd, only at your Southern California Hyundai dealer.
Every moment is a chance to unite. Every moment is a chance to defy. Every moment is a chance to succeed.
Very spirited crowd here, almost capacity here. Students are obviously on break. And 1 week from tonight, John Crispin, it all begins for real at Fresno State Mountain West Conference action beginning the first of 16 games. Take a look at where the Aztecs rank as far as non-conference games are concerned. Wyoming won again tonight. They beat SMU 59-56 in Texas.
Well, you look at the Mountain West, typically kind of a two-headed monster. You have the top 2 teams, and they're going to go to the NCAA tournament. Here, we're talking about one of the top 3 conferences in the nation.
Here's White, 3 from the outside, off the mark. And trying to run it down in the corner is Javante Maynard, and he stepped out of bounds. I agree, it's going to be tough to navigate. 16 games in the Mountain West Conference schedule this year, and again, Wednesday night, a game you and I will be doing right here on Time Warner Cable Sports Net.
And you can't sleep on any of these teams. I mean, playing in the Big Ten or the Pac-12, it's all the same. You know each other so well, so there's no easy walk. There's no cupcake. I mean, in the Big Ten, Northwestern was the bottom team in the Big Ten, but you couldn't walk through them. They knew you way too well. First appearance by James Johnson of the evening, the Virginia transfer, and he missed on the left-handed field goal. And Tapley missing from the outside up over the back, and it'll be Roadrunner basketball. As you take a look at
the transfer from the University of Virginia, playing in his 5th game since becoming eligible. It's 12 minutes against Point Loma, but just 7 minutes total in Hawaii, so really hasn't found his way into the rotation yet.
He missed the shot, but I'll tell you, it's the first back-to-the-basket post move we've seen all night, and if they can develop that as part of their offense, again, inside-out basketball, when you have guys that can shoot the 3 that well, it'll be a great addition to this team.
My early impressions are of him, hey, he's very athletic. He doesn't really play 6'8". He crouches down. He loves to play defense. Franklin misses on the 3. It's out of bounds, and it's staying San Diego State's way.
Loves to play defense, but you got to be aggressive with a body like that, especially in this conference. Establish a game down low, and it opens the floor for everybody outside. I didn't learn that until I stopped playing basketball. I thought you just shot the 3 and expect the big guys to get rebounds and kick it back out. But if you play inside-out basketball, it will open the game. Not just open the floor, but make it easier for your stars. Make it easier for Chase Tapley to get open looks.
All 3 field goals in Johnson's career have come while wearing the red and black. Here's Rehan for 3, and he's 0 for 2 tonight from beyond the arc.
Too open. Too open.
He was just 1 of 8 against Arizona.
Well, shooting the basketball, like we said, passes, making passes and turnovers. It's confidence. I mean, the whole game of basketball is confidence. If a team like Bakersfield comes in here confident that they can really take this team out, I mean, this thing will be a ball game.
As it is, Bakersfield can get it under double digits now. They can get it to 7 if White makes that 3. He missed. Rebound, Rehan.
I think we've seen San Diego let up a little bit, and with 2 minutes left here in the half, I'd like to see the pressure get brought back up.
Franklin on the pass from Tapley. He got fouled, and it nearly rolled in for an and 1.
Remember, San Diego State started the game with that full court pressure, doubling the corners, getting the ball out of the point guard's hands, really speeding the tempo up on the defensive side. I'd like to see that to close out the half.
Franklin now with an opportunity to score double figures if he makes the free throw. There it is, 10 points for him. Of course, Arizona stopped the streak of 32 consecutive double-digit efforts on Christmas night.
Well, it's tough when you're a star. It really is. I mean, it's not easy when you're a star and teams are keen on you. It's not easy to get open looks, and a lot of times the easy looks you get are on the break.
And he's now 6 for 6 from the free throw line after missing 1 of 2 on Christmas night against Arizona.
That's a telling tale right there. I mean, just not getting to the free throw line. It shows that Arizona wasn't just pressuring him, they were getting the ball out of his hands.
Yeah. Maynard with a 3 that got partially blocked, but he did not like the fact that he missed against Arizona. Came back and shot 100 free throws. Driving in is Tapley, and Chase has 9.
Very balanced, very poised. I mean, you see the spin move. The defender falls in front of him. He doesn't lose his balance. He puts it in. I mean, there's just so many things you can say about a guy, but that's just a great individual effort by a great basketball player.
Bakersfield needs a timeout. Rod Barnes wants to spend one here with 1:15 to go before half.
We talked about throwing the ball ahead, getting the ball up. Watch the balance, watch the poise. I mean, controlling the body, finishing the basket. These guys are just great basketball players. There's no way around it. I mean, we talk about how good the team is, how good the conference is, but you look at Franklin and Tapley, 2 very, very good basketball players that down the stretch, you'll rely heavily upon. And I think that's what we talk about. You know, losses are good. A loss to Arizona is good because it really puts the challenge on these leaders to come up big in crunch time.
Aztecs have won 8 straight here at home, 30 in a row against California schools, and 7 wins to date against Golden State foes. They like to make this 31 in a row here.
How about that stat?
Isn't it amazing?
I mean, we talk about the atmosphere, we talk about the environment. Obviously, coming to San Diego is not a bad place. You know, it really isn't. I enjoyed this being down here. But California schools, Cal, UCLA, USC, Stanford. I mean,
it's not like they're playing Azusa Pacific 12 times a year. There's a foul by San Diego State. And here's the longest active win streak against California teams. Kansas is second, having won 10 in a row, and they don't get very many opportunities. And they certainly aren't coming out west.
Exactly. You mean they're not playing Bakersfield out in Bakersfield next week?
Although they're in discussions with the a return game. Kansas coming here in a few years. I know the Aztecs are going to go there in a couple of years.
What a great place to play there in Kansas. Allen Fieldhouse. Wow.
Ten to go on the shot clock. Here's Carter, and Carter with an offensive foul. Taking the charge, Jamal Franklin.
You know, I think the frustrating thing, if you look at what Bakersfield's doing on offense, they're trying to get into sets, but San Diego State is doing such a good job of keeping them out of what they're trying to do. The charge comes from just impatience on offense. Moving with the ball before the defender gets there. You've just got to slow down. But it's frustrating. It's frustrating from an offensive standpoint where you just can't get into your sets. And as we talked about earlier in the game, or before the game, they need to be able to run sets. They need to run sets to get their guys open looks. They're not able to do that. It's frustrating, and that's why they're losing their poise.
They come in at 6-10. We mentioned an RPI of 263 out of 347 Division I programs. Only their third year in Division I basketball, and it was a team that had a very distinguished past. I mean, in the 90s, that was the place to go in Division II college basketball. They wound up winning national championships in 93, 94, and 97, and that 93 team under Pat Douglas went 33-0.
Wow. Well, you also, I mean, you look at what takes a team to the next level. These are very talented basketball players. I mean, these were all stars at their high schools. So what is it that really helps them get over the hump? What is it that takes them to the next level as a Division I program? I mean, it'll be something to see in the years to come.
They're getting a lot of transfers. There's a lot of good players there in the Central Valley that'll eventually come their way. And next year, they're going to be in the Western Athletic Conference for basketball. And of course, they're holding a lot of their better players and their transfers back to make a first-year run on the WAC next year.
We talked about the versatility of O'Brien. I mean, here we go, handling the ball for the entire possession here. Now got rid of it with 15 seconds left on the shot clock. Versatility of a four-man, it's priceless.
3 seconds, the difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Franklin for Tapley for three, and he knocks it down. Not an easy shot to make.
It hurts.
Carter to answer with three. He nearly made it. Missed off the left of the rim. But San Diego State will walk into the locker room with their biggest lead of the half. 17 points over CSU Bakersfield. A 9-0 run to end that first half for San Diego State. Chase Tapley with 12, Franklin with 11, and the Aztecs shooting 50%. Have a commanding 17-point lead.